Welcome back to another video. It's Bradford CV Rochdale match preview. Let me know your score predictions and thoughts going into a game in the comments down below. Apologies for it being a day late, but we'll get straight into it. Rochdale are 3 unbeaten. They've had 1 defeat in their last 4 games since replacing Bentley. They're on a decent upturn in form. Hopefully the honeymoon period is over. They've also previously had wins against Stevenage, Salford, drawn against Northampton. They beat us in the reverse fixture 2-1 at Valley Parade on that Tuesday night. And they've drawn to Mansfield as well, so they've had some pretty decent results against sides at the top of the table recently. The home form isn't the best either. There's 16 points from 20 games, bottom team in the home form table, and they haven't, but on the other hand, they haven't lost at home since the 21st of February. So slightly improving recently, but when you look at the league table, it is looking too much to ask for them to escape the drop. However, like I said, the recent form has pulled them closer. They are only 6 points away from Hartlepool, but you would think that would be too much to ask for. Like I say, hopefully the honeymoon period is over. But we're the 5th at best away team in the league with 33 points from 19 games. We're 1 point off the top spot for away form with 2 games in hand, and that is Salford. So we're very good on the road. We haven't lost on the road in the new year. We're 10 games unbeaten. We've had 1 defeat in 16 or 2 defeats in 16. We're on a very good run. So hopefully we can continue that, and hopefully we can, keep this optimism and keep this good form building. We're improving at home, and we've got to keep improving away from home as well, because the last away game weren't so good. We drew, of course, to 23rd place Crawley Town, and that wasn't the best of games. And like I say, we have tendencies to slip up against the sides at the bottom of the table. We only just beat Colchester. We drew to Newport. We drew to Wimbledon, I think they're 17th. Lost to Rochdale, drew to Crawley in both games this season, and we drew to Hartlepool and beat them away from home. So we can't be slipping up against Rochdale. We've got 3,500 fans going, and it's these sort of games that we just need to keep building, keep progressing, and we've got to keep putting pressure on the sides at the top of the table, because teams like Stevenage are slipping up recently. Stockport on a fantastic one, and I think in terms of the form table, in the last 15 games we've picked up 28 points. That's second in the table behind Stockport, and I think if I'm being honest and realistic, I think Stockport probably have the best chance of getting in the top 3 ahead of us. Like I said, we're on a fantastic run from the new year, and their last game they beat Newport 4-0. But their running does look quite tough. There's some slip-ups in there. They've got Gillingham tomorrow, they've got Carlisle away from home, they've got Rochdale, we should be beating them, and they should as well. They've got Orient, and then last game of the season they've got Hartlepool, and we know all about Hartlepool's away following on the last games of the season. So there's some tricky games in there for them. There is for us as well, but it's quite simple as this: if we win all our games, we should be going up. Stevenage, they have a game in hand, and we do, and you can see them slipping up. So I won't be against going to Wembley this season. It'd be a nice trip, but we want to try and wrap it up at the end of the season and have a fantastic run into the end of the season. And it starts against Rochdale, 6 cup finals. Into the results then, 3-1 win against Sutton in the last game, a 0-0 draw against Crawley away from home, a 3-2 win against Grimsby at home, a really good fighting back victory, a 0-0 draw against Carlisle, which wasn't too bad when you look at the previous results, and a 2-2 draw at home against Hartlepool. Their last 5, a 1-1 draw to Mansfield, a 4-2 win against Walsall, a 1-0 win against Wimbledon away from home, a 2-0 defeat to Crawley away from home, and a 4-4 draw against Swindon at home. Past and presents, obviously Stephen Darby, the 25-mile walk began today. I think they've raised 10,000 for him and the MND, and nearly at 11,000, so obviously that's a great effort. Richard O'Donnell's there as well, obviously previous City player last season and captain, and Roy Mercado played there slightly before he came to Bradford City. Is he a legend? Let me know in the comments down below, because I think he's one of those players that is probably just bordering on being a legend for City. Key players, Brierley recently, he's come out of the blue for them. He's got 1 goal, 5 assists, and he's only 19, so he's looking like a very good player for them in the future. Could possibly leave in the summer. They've got Scott Quigley as well, not quite hitting it at Rochdale or the past couple of seasons, but I think we were linked to him around the time when he was at Barrow, and he was scoring for fun. He had a good couple of seasons there. And they've still got Ian Henderson, who's still scoring goals, 8 goals this season, and we all know about him. I'm sure he always scores against City, but they've got some other decent players, not as bad as they may suggest, but like I say, it's a game we need to be winning, picking up the 3 points. In terms of the head-to-heads, we've won 48 games against them, drew 22 games and lost 29. The last 5 results consist of a 1-0 defeat in the reverse fixture, a 0-0 draw, a 2-0 win and a 2-1 defeat, and a 4-0 win in 2018. I think that was the season when we got relegated, so not too bad recent results. Obviously that last defeat in the reverse fixture, hopefully we can put that wrong to right and get a bit of revenge against them. In terms of my 11, let me know yours in the comments down below. I'd go for the same team. My team's on the screen now. I've got Lewis in goal, Halliday, Stubbs, Romanic Quichlow, Liam Rydell, Smallwood, Gilead, Banks, Walker, Chapman and Andy Cook. Lewis obviously in goal, Halliday, not the best of games last game, but I'd still obviously start him against the options we've got behind him. Stubbs and Quichlow, I'm not sure if Platt would be back, but if he is, I think Stubbs and Quichlow, unfortunately for Platt. I don't think he's put too much of a foot wrong. However, Quichlow, I think he was injured. I think he had an eye injury and obviously couldn't get back into a team with Platt and Stubbs taking their chances. And then Platt comes out, one minute Quichlow comes back in, takes his chance. I think it'd be unfair to drop him. And I do think we are possibly a bit more fluid playing out from the back with Stubbs and Quichlow. I think they are a bit more confident in playing out, and we do look a bit more comfortable. Left back Rydell, I think it'd be a bad decision to bring in Bowler now. I think that chance has gone. It could go down as one of the worst loan signings simply because his first game against Stockport was terrible, and then I think it was Mansfield when he came off. He had a good first half, but I think he got injured, didn't he? So, and then hadn't come back into a team. Rydell, he's just a bang average player in my opinion, but he had a decent game in the last one, and it'd be quite stupid really to be changing the back line when there's 6 big games to go. You want a bit of consistency in there now for this final running. Smallwood and Gilead, fantastic performances of recent. Banks, Walker, Chapman. Banks obviously scored. Hopefully he can continue that because he's a fantastic player. He's got the flair, but he's a League 2 winger, maybe bordering on League 1 and could become better. Obviously he's still relatively young, but I think that consistency just needs to find that. Walker's performance on Saturday, and I give him a 3, I should have given him a 4. He had a good game, he created some really good chances, and really he was the key to unlocking the doors in that game, and that's what we've needed all season. Number 10, like that game on Walker, from Walker last weekend, where we've got someone who's creating, getting into space, get moving and linking up the front 3 well, and they give a load of time and space for Chapman and Banks to cause havoc for their fullbacks, and they give Cook loads of chances to get good shots away. So I thought he had a fantastic game, and hopefully, like I say, with many, hopefully that consistency can continue and he can build off that performance. And then obviously Andy Cook up top, who I'm sure will be continuing breaking records, hopefully on Saturday and the rest of the season. So let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. I'm going to go, well, it should be normally a 3 or 4-0 win for a team in the top end of the table playing against someone down at bottom and struggling, and it looks like they're going to be relegated. However, it's Bradford City, so we're going to make it as hard as possible. However, I'm going to go with a 1-0 win, and I'm going to go with a Sam Stubbs corner header. We haven't had many, and it's always a good sign when a centre-back's getting a couple of goals. So hopefully we can get the win. Hopefully we can keep the momentum and the consistency of the players. Hopefully the energy is going to be high again. And let me know your thoughts going into a game. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Have a good one.